This is one of Jeffree Star's, it's the worst palette. It's the worst palette, right? Like, does everyone hate this palette as much as I hate this palette? Oh my god. Okay, it is, later in the afternoon, so I'm sorry if my lighting is not the best, but this Thirsty palette has kind of been, of all my Jeffree Star things that I've collected, the bane of my existence of Jeffree Star items that I've collected. If you've been following me since the beginning of my hobby channel, you would have seen that I have pulled this Thirsty palette multiple times. I think 4, 5, maybe even 6 times in the mystery bags and mystery boxes that I would order. This palette was constantly in there. I ordered it a couple times when it was on sale, and I thought maybe it was a fluke. I'm like, they can't all be these shitty, dry, flippin' eyeshadow shimmer palettes, right? Like, they can't all be the same. And after the first 2 that I tried, I'm like, oh no, it really is this bad. So I started giving them away. I gave them away to friends, to family. I possibly even gave one in a giveaway. Like, I can't even remember at this point. But I've always disliked this palette the most. I feel like this has always been the weakest of all his palettes that I've personally tried. And I've tried the Beauty Killer palette, the first one. And I think that one probably is even better than this. I just don't understand the shimmer formula in this. It's so poopy. It's not good. It's not good. Okay, but there's a difference with this one. This is the new updated formula, he says. In this case scenario, it's just a fresh palette that's been made, right? Because around the time that I finally got around to buying the Thirsty palette, it had been around. I did not purchase it when it was new. I purchased it later on, around maybe 2021, 2022. So this is after the fact. I could have gotten older palettes, especially getting the mystery boxes and mystery bags, but in this case, this was a updated drop that he did. I bought it then, and this is not, the Thirsty palette itself and the color story and all that is not new, okay? But I was wondering, and I was curious, which even then, this Thirsty palette I was able to get on one of the days he had a random 50% sale off. I picked it up again, because I don't know, I'm a glutton for punishment. The color story itself, I can definitely see it is very summer, and it does feel very warm, and the idea is, right, like a popsicle, which absolutely makes sense if you were a fan of Jeffree Star when he was doing music. He had popsicle music, so I get that, I caught that. But here's the Thirsty palette, Jeffree Star. I do love the color on this. I love orange, I love the drops. You can see it's like a sweaty, cold popsicle. And it goes all the way around. The ingredients are in the back of the actual box carton. So if you're looking for ingredients, that's on the back. But as far as I know, all of Jeffree Star products are pretty much vegan. Very few are not. But there is a little piece of plastic in here, and there is a giant mirror, which we're going to cover up. And here is this color story. This is the color story that we're looking at. Okay. Is this better than the past palettes, the past Thirsty palettes that I have tried? Yes. Are the shimmers better than the older Thirsty palettes that I've tried? Yes. Are the shimmers in here good? Not really. Not really. I don't particularly like this top orange row. It just doesn't really do anything for my skin tone. These two felt very powdery. This felt a little, what's it called? It was like splotchy. Like, I couldn't really get to set right. And then these colors don't particularly go with these browns. I would have liked perhaps like a darker orange. Like, this one kind of works, but not this brown. Now, this one was pretty alright. This shade over here in the corner, but for my skin tone, it kind of just melted in with the other tones in here. The yellows and the blues. Now, those were really, really beautiful, really nicely pigmented. Those were great. My gripe is with these oranges that are in here. I don't feel like they're very good in terms of what we are used to of Jeffree Star. Now, the shimmers in here are pretty much the reason why I never liked this palette, because I am a shimmer girl. I love shimmers. And the worst offender in here is this gold shade. Do you see this? So I used a brush, did not work with a brush. I thought maybe I have to wet my brush. I wet my brush, it did not work. I used my finger, it did not really work with my finger. And I thought, okay, I've seen this before in videos. Maybe I really have to get in there. I literally dug. Do you see that hole? I literally dug a hole So if I could try to get some of the product underneath that top level. Do you see how it's kind of panned? This is the issue that I had with all the Jeffree Star shades. Now, in this case, I think they have coated a little better, but not much better. Let's start off with these shades that I don't like. Let's start off with, let's do Parched and Taste Buds and Bee. They just don't work particularly well on my skin tone. That's kind of powdery. That's a little powdery. I'm gonna go back in, you know, benefit of the doubt. A little bit of a better swatch. I don't think these colors work very well for my skin tone, and maybe that's just me. That's just me, right? If it's my skin tone that doesn't work, then it's just a me issue. Maybe I need to apply less of these colors when I use it, but I am a really bright, bold lady, so I don't care to use a little bit. I really like that boldness. These are my least favorite colors. I'm gonna swatch Subtle. I remember Subtle being quite nice, because it really is just subtle. And it was giving me like that makeup, no makeup kind of look. And I was like, okay, like it was a nice color to set my eyes, but not particularly outstanding. But the matte shades in here, this yellow, come on. This yellow was beautiful. I was not expecting such a beautiful yellow shade. This really does, that's a solid yellow. Okay, that is a solid yellow. The blue, let's not even talk about the blues. The color in here is good. I'm surprised that these kind of, like these oranges and the browns just weren't really that outstanding to me. Do you see the pigment? Holy shit. Holy shit. That yellow and those two blues, those two teals, fucking beautiful. Do you see how I don't know. Do you see how well they swatched compared to these first three that are a little bit more powdery? There's just not enough pigment in there. The colors in here is beautiful. And I think that's why I'm looking into kind of keeping it this time around. But the shimmers in here broke my heart. You have this awful dry, absolutely freaking dry gold. And I got a pretty good swatch there. I'm sure maybe right now they're going to swatch pretty okay. But it's like my eye cannot take the amount of pressure I have to apply onto my fucking arm to make sure I get some sort of color and shimmer on it. And like on my arm, it looks okay. It looks okay. It might even look better to you because you're seeing it from the perspective of there's a light hitting my arm. But when I'm looking at it, the swatch looks weak. It looks weak. And it was that shade, and I don't think the silver and was it Lick? These were also not the best, but not the worst. Kind of reminded me of Makeup Revolution. And for a Makeup Revolution price, it would have been fine. But he's not selling this to you at a Makeup Revolution price. So I'm kind of like, not fine. I feel like these should be a lot more amazing. And Jeffree Star Cosmetics should definitely be leaps and bounds above everybody else. And especially in terms of shimmers. They've had so much time to better their shimmers, and I feel like they're still lagging behind on these shimmers. To me, I think the best shimmers in here were Snatched and Plunged. I feel like those two shades had the more, they weren't as dry. They're still not incredible, but these looked a lot prettier on my eye. These were easier to use. I think I even was able to pick it up with a brush for the most part, but they are the darker shades in here. And you can see that there's a crumble there. I do like the shimmer on these a little more. This one's more metallic, I like that. So his Plunge is more metallic. Snatched is a little bit dry. And I'll show you the pan right now. I'm trying to get in here. And as I'm trying to get more color with my finger, it is, well, whoops. You see right there? I'm getting that hard pan as I'm trying to swatch it, and it's just becoming smooth. And it's hard panning. Now look over here. You can still see the ridges. It has these kind of ridges because there's more moisture in this shade. This one is a lot drier, and I don't really know what to do. You can already see there, like, I'm really digging into these shades to try and get the color. And you can see again here's another shade where I'm digging in. This one was the worst one, the worst offender. You can see this one, I dug in a little bit, but it's got a pretty good, like, a little bit of a kick, but for what these were in the video that came out with them at the time, you would have thought he was coming out with something new and crazy and insanely sparkly, and that's just not it. I still don't really like this palette. I think I'm going to keep it for now, because I think that if I pull this out again, it might push me to do more colorful looks. I don't know about the shimmers. And the thing is also is I've taken this palette and I've depotted it before. So I have these shades in other palettes, but at this point I don't even know where. So I'll keep it for now. But y'all, I think if you didn't like this palette before, you're probably still not gonna like it. If you're looking for, I mean, I definitely feel like the matte formula for the blues and the yellows are a lot better. I'm personally struggling with those, with this orangey kind of row, but the shimmers are still lacking. The shimmers are still weak, and that is literally a third of the palette. So what are we doing here? I don't even think I can say it's all right. I just think I'm gonna hold on to this a little bit longer until, I don't know, I get my use out of it, where I feel like I've gotten my use out of it. We'll see how many times I actually end up reaching for it. But I mean, color story wise, it was a fun idea. It was a fun idea to have for this color story, but I don't know, y'all. You may still have to pass on this. It's still a work in progress.